What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm going to compare the rank and rent business model with the AI automation agency model. I drew this nice diagram to explain to you guys that AI automation is not what you've been promised, backed by real people within the industry that talk about how AI is already reaching its limits, and just a fundamental issue with AI automation as an agency model. I'm somebody that's been making money on the internet over the last 11 years. Predominantly with the rank and rent business model. I've created hundreds of these sites that literally creates passive income for me day in and day out. My rank and rent websites never get tired, and it's far more effective at creating passive income than any AI agents out there. These are 150 rank and rent sites that I built in the last 6 months alone. These are some of the commissions that my sites are generating. $1,000 commission for one job that it generated. Here's all the calls that it's generating on a daily basis, 100 plus calls every day that all my rank and rent sites are generating. Here's my client's CRM that my call tracking dashboard API connects into. I'm generating jobs that are in the thousands of dollars. This one was a $240,000 ADU job. Right now we have $500,000 worth of estimates out. Now you have to logically understand this. If you implement AI automation, let's say you replace a receptionist with an AI robot, and this company was paying their human receptionist like $2,000 a month. Yeah, they might have saved on $2,000, which technically they probably are paying for the AI agent as well. So maybe they save $1,000. Do you think a business like in home construction where one job is worth $30,000 or $50,000, do you think these businesses really care that much about trying to save $2,000 a month? Versus you got someone like me that's able to actually generate these kind of jobs for them. One job equal to $50,000 of revenue. The fundamental flaw with AI automation agency off rip is that most small businesses don't have an automation problem. They have a lack of customers problem, which rank and rent directly solves if you actually know how to set these sites up correct. There's a huge problem with AI automation business model is because most of these creators or influencers are getting more views creating these types of videos because AI is the next hot topic.
Ranking the fastest ways for you to make $10,000 per month. Starting an AI automation agency. This is basically where you go to business owners, you say, hey, I have these AI tools that can help you do X, Y, and Z 10 times faster, 10 times cheaper. I'll sell them to you for $2,000 a month, whatever your kind of structure looks like. That is an AI automation agency. Now, what is good about this? Number one, the timing. Everybody knows how important AI is becoming. And I think that you have a very small window of opportunity with an AI automation agency. Because like I said previously, the really smart business owners, the ones that are really doing numbers, they're not going to fucking hire an AI automation agency. They're going to build it all in-house. They're going to hire people that know how to do it. This is quite literally what I'm doing right now. Like I would never pay an agency to come and build stuff unless it is extremely advanced and I genuinely believe.
Okay, so key things that he just said there. This is like crypto a few years ago or dropshipping. They're basically just using FOMO to get people into this new business model. There's a small window of opportunity. That's not a good enough reason to decide to get into business because nobody knows what's going to happen to this business model 2 years from now. Whereas the rank and rent business model I've been doing for the last 11 years, okay? I have websites from 11 years ago still paying me to this day. And again, shiny object. People are always scrambling for the next new shiny, sexy thing. And guess what? This guy literally just said if it's more of a sophisticated company, they'll just do the AI automation themselves. They're not going to hire an agency to do it for them. So you think it's like more smaller businesses? AI automation is only going to work really well if AI has access to large amounts of data. And most small businesses, like blue collar businesses, like your roofers or home construction, most of those businesses don't have that much data that they're dealing with where they think they need an AI automation for. Most of that is taken care of by the CRM, which by the way, a lot of business owners don't even have a CRM. I do help some of my clients set up a CRM, but really that takes care of most of their needs of actually getting a customer, following up with a customer, and closing the deal. That's really all that most of these small businesses need to worry about.
I just built the ultimate personal assistant in N8N using absolutely no code. As you can see, the ultimate assistant has access to these 4 agents that we built out within N8N. The first one is an email agent. It looks like this. The next agent is a calendar agent. It looks like this. Then we have a content creator agent that can search the web and then it creates blog posts for us. Can you please set up a team sync tonight for 6 p.m. with Nate Herkelman? and then send them an email to confirm if that time works. Okay, so right now Telegram just sent over that audio file. It's getting transcribed. Now the ultimate assistant has to decide what to do. So first of all, it hit the contact agent to get Nate Herkelman's email address. Now it's hitting calendar and email agent simultaneously to create that event. As you can see, it just popped up right here, and send that email. So we just got a response back from Telegram. The team sync with Nate Herkelman has been scheduled for tonight at 6 p.m. You can manage the event here. Then hopping into our sent emails, we can see, hey Nate, I hope this message finds you well. Could you confirm if 6 p.m. works for our upcoming team sync? Let me know. If you want to find out how you can build this for yourself or even download the workflow for free.
Okay, although that looks impressive, just look how complicated that is to set up. Most of you guys, newbies that are trying to make money, your first dollar on the internet, you're not gonna have these type of abilities to create all of that. These things can break all the time. You have to make many different API connections. Sure, it's better than like having to code everything, but connecting all these different things together and you have to customize and set that up for each different business owner is no joke. And still, this is not solving the biggest problem. All this automation, although it's fancy, is not gonna cause a business owner's revenue to double in the next year. Sure, it might save the business owner some time to reply to certain emails, but again, even CloudBot or OpenClaw, all these different things that I'm looking at, I'm yet to see something so impressive that can cause a business's revenue to just blossom.
I tried to run my AI automation agency, but it didn't work. Learning the tools wasn't the problem, and it's in make.com. It's not that complicated. The problem was finding customers. There is some demand for AI agencies, but the competition is intense. The barrier to entry is low, and of course that means everybody can do it. So I don't recommend this business. Instead, I think that SaaS are much more interesting. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comments.
SaaS is one of the most difficult business models to get into. If you thought competition was fierce with AI agency, SaaS is going to be on a whole new level. Most of newbies, you guys do not have the technical know-how or even understand the problems in the marketplace to even identify the right SaaS to even get into. With that being said, he talked about it's hard to get customers. Yeah, in an agency model, it gets saturated pretty quick because everybody is going to start cold outreaching all these different business owners. And with AI automation, you're also even more severely limited to what kind of business owners would even want an AI automation in the first place. So if you thought offering Google ads or SEO service was difficult, offering AI automation is going to be even more difficult because most of these business owners, you will not be able to help with AI automation. Again, they don't have an automation problem. They have a lack of customer problem. So now you start targeting more medium-sized companies, maybe a company with at least 100 people on their staff. But those kind of companies are going to become more sophisticated. Oftentimes, they already have a dev team that they can implement any type of AI on their own.
95% of AI automation agencies will fail in 2025. This is a much easier path to 20K per month, zero startup costs, don't pay for any course or community. All you have to do is repurpose my free AI education, my ChatGPT for Beginners course, and teach it to small businesses. The easiest place to start is if you already have pre-existing industry connections or your local small businesses. Post in your local Facebook groups or run local Facebook ads. They'll be really cheap cost per click because you have zero competition. An AI automation agency is much harder because you really need to understand a business in order to build and integrate effective automations. But most businesses just need help learning how to use ChatGPT.
Again, this is what I'm talking about. Like, how much can you even sell a ChatGPT guide to these businesses? You're working so hard to try to go get these small business owners to buy something and you're selling a ChatGPT guide. Guys, you only get paid in the proportion to the degree of difficult problems that you're able to solve. Helping a business owner better use ChatGPT is not solving a big problem. You will not be able to charge much for that, and very soon the interest for that is not even going to be there. Why are people messing with all these different types of tricks and little trends to try to make money? Why not think about business from a macro perspective, from a business 101 perspective, which is if you want a thriving business, you need to figure out how you can solve the biggest problem for people. And the biggest problem that business owners have is, again, lack of customers.
What do you think in 2026 I should try?
AI automation. You go to business owners who are like, I can automate your whole business. They're going to think you're a wizard and you're going to charge them $500, $1,000 a month. Let's say you went to Spaces, this co-working space, and say, hey, you need a new website. You need some Facebook ads. All I need is logins for those systems and I'll set it all up. You type it in, use Manus, go and watch TV, and it does the whole thing. This whole like, how do I learn AI? You don't have to anymore. All you got to do is go get a customer.
Okay, that's the most egregious example. He has no idea what he's talking about. No AI can automate an entire ad campaign with just by prompting it. This guy is what you call just a straight influencer. Again, using the words AI to make his shorts pop and get more views. So it's just really polluted with all these like bad advices. I went to his YouTube channel and he's like a Tai Lopez. He has no specialty. He's just a good talker on stage and he just riffs about different various very general basic ideas about making money online or creating a business. Has just zero substance, has no idea what he's talking about. Even Manus can't do what he was just saying. All right, I want to talk about really beginning to dismantling this myth about AI. The first major issue with AI is that it's not an actual intelligence. It's a predictive language model, that's it. It has no ability to critically think and solve problems. And as a business owner, I don't care what business you're in, the degree to which that business is able to thrive is the degree of the CEO's ability to solve problems. And AI will not do that, cannot do that, is not possible. Because AI doesn't actually have a consciousness. It does not think on its own. It's only able to reflect back to you regurgitated information through probabilities of the content they found on the internet back to you depending on your prompt. It's essentially a glorified search engine like Google's technology. I want to play a small clip from this video. If any of you guys have time and you're worried about AI taking over the world in the future, I highly recommend watching this because we have already reached the limit of AI capabilities. A few years ago, AI was making quantum leaps in its abilities by just increasing the scale of the machinery or the power that they were of the data centers and the chips that they were giving to the AI models. Now, after ChatGPT 4, it has completely plateaued. The mathematics does not work anymore. More compute did not continue to scale as they had hoped. And OpenAI, ChatGPT, they're in big trouble.
Way too much. And now he says he doesn't. It's very hard to have a logical discussion with the real believers in AI. They just believe it. And you can see that just with ChatGPT 5. There are a few people who are really emotional saying it's really great. Most people don't, even the true believers. There's very few true believers who wanted to say much about ChatGPT 5's performance. All they'd say that it switches between these different modes. It uses a little less cloud costs because they've optimized ChatGPT 5 for that and not for performance. Performance-wise, almost no one says it's a step towards AGI. And in fact, Sam Altman was asked that question a couple of days ago. He was asked, GPT-5 bring us closer to AGI? And he says, I don't like AGI. I don't like that term. It's not useful. Even though he's been using this term for years. Actually, I should say just a couple of years, because that's really...
Sam Altman basically used the promise of AGI to raise a bunch of investor money. And I believe a few years ago, he truly believed AGI was possible because AI was accelerating. The more compute power you gave it, AI was accelerating at this incredible pace. So they made calculations and they said within 2-3 years they should hit AGI. The problem is, again, the mathematics broke. More power did not continue to scale the intelligence. And at ChatGPT 4 beyond and at ChatGPT 5, it plateaued. So this video is called Why AI Isn't the Future We Were Sold by Dr. Jeff Funk. It's like a long 1-hour video, but it's very good. All right, so now AI is currently only good at a few tasks. Okay, it's good at research. It's good at going through large set of texts. It can scrape all over Reddit or Twitter and find some specific information for you, which is quite amazing. It's like a more advanced, specific form of utilizing search. It's good at providing some summaries. It's good at organizing large set of data. And it can use all of that data with specific prompts. It can create regurgitated content. If you automate that whole thing, it's still going to create subpar blog posts. I don't just fully use AI content on my rank and rent sites. There's still a strategic way in which where we lay out the content with the right keywords in the right places. And AI can do some basic software coding. It can create various softwares, UX designs much easier as a one-man person. However, it is interesting to note in this presentation, they're discussing the fact that more advanced softwares, like such as Salesforce or various other CRMs, the software engineers end up spending 20 to 30% more time prompting AI to do the coding than if they were to do it themselves. Why? Because AI still makes mistakes, and now the software developer has to go and debug the code himself. And because the software engineer did not build the whole code himself, he's now looking in the darkness trying to find where that issue is. So it makes it a point that an AI has to get 99.99999% accurate enough to even be in a situation where AI will replace human developers. And we're not even close. We're at like 50% accuracy at the moment. And so he makes it a point that people don't truly understand the compounding nature of scaling intelligence, because each percentage, as it gets closer to 99%, becomes exponentially more difficult to make improvements on. So with current estimates, to get to 99.999% accuracy, it's going to take 30, 40 years with our current methods of increasing AI's intelligence. Again, let's not get lost in the weeds of what actually makes a business thrive. Okay. AI will not go get more customers for you. AI cannot automate fulfilling of any services. And again, AI cannot critically think or solve problems. Even if a business owner uses AI, it's still his critical think and utilizing AI as a tool that allows him to solve problems in his business. Can AI get any customers? Not in any meaningful way that I've seen. We've already had different softwares that can cold email outreach. The only thing I've seen with certain setup is like potentially you have an AI robot cold calling various businesses. That I am paying attention to. However, a business that cold calls other businesses, that's more of a sophisticated tech-based kind of company. And most of those companies already can implement these AI technologies on their own. I think people really need to understand that the reason why I like Rank and Rent is that I can target blue-collar business owners like roofers, concrete guys, wood flooring guys, these guys that are so newbie at tech, which is why I can come in and build and rank my rank and rent sites, generate leads for them, and they keep paying me month after month. And those companies simply just need customers to call them. Those companies are not gonna ever need an AI robot to cold call people or even cold email people. Okay, I talked about this earlier, but AI is only useful when it has a large set of data, like a huge list of leads that a robot can maybe cold call, or a huge set of internal data that it can organize and synthesize. But again, most small businesses, they don't have any of that. They don't need any of that. They want more customers. We talked about this earlier. Medium-sized companies, most of them already have a tech team. They are sophisticated enough to do a lot of this AI stuff on their own. And another issue with AI automation agencies is like, even if you were to get a client and they start paying you like $5,000 a month, there is no guarantee of how long that company is going to continue to pay you month after month. Budgets get tight sometimes. And if your whole business model is about saving business owners some money, you're already looking at the wrong problem to solve, because as soon as the budget gets tight, you're already dealing with a business owner that was trying to save money. The next thing they're going to do is try to save your expense of having to pay you as an AI automation agency and either cut you out or try to just implement it themselves. As somebody that's been doing Rank and Rent for the last 11 years, the reason why my business owners love me is because I don't try to solve $2,000 a month problems. Instead of saving money, I create revenue. I create value. I'm able to take a business that's been doing $1 million a year to $8 million a year because of all the additional leads that I'm able to generate for that company. So if my leads are worth millions of dollars to this company, first of all, they're not going to have enough business to not worry about having months where they have tight budgets. I become completely irreplaceable in that business. And I'm telling you guys right now, with Rank and Rent, this kind of impact is possible. Okay, I can't stress this enough. Businesses only have two problems. Either they're not charging enough for their product or services, so they're getting too much churn and burnout, or they're not doing enough volume. And most businesses will fall on the latter. They're not getting enough customers. They're not filling their pipeline enough. Now, the rank and rent solves these biggest problems because with rank and rent, we understand that if we can impact the business's bottom line, that's the most important thing we can do. And what's the most direct way to impact the bottom line is understand where the customers are finding the business and then getting in the middle of it. Money is exchanging hands at that point. A customer that really needs some help with a wall or their floor or their roof. Another thing I love about Rank and Rent is we're not selling a product. We're not dealing in an industry where it's like a physical product that the customer might want. This is an actual need that they have. They have credit card in hand, ready to purchase a service. They're searching for a local company to do that service. And then we're simply placing our websites in between that customer and our client and the service provider, our business owner client, which is essentially what Uber and Airbnb has done. They simply are connecting a customer to a service provider, and they're making a small percentage in the middle. And this is essentially what we're doing with Rank and Rent. Uber, the biggest transportation company in the world, and they don't even own any of their own vehicles. Same with Airbnb. They don't own any buildings, any of that. They just created a platform to get in between the customer and the service provider. Again, this is what we're doing with Rank and Rent. Why is this so powerful? Because to own all your own vehicles, to own all these different assets to actually run a business actually takes too much liquid, too much capital to get in. So it's very difficult to scale. But when you can just have a piece of code, a digital code, that can get in between the customer and the service provider and only earn a small percentage in the middle, well, this code is infinitely scalable. Same are the Rank and Rent websites. Very low cost, and we can scale it across multiple different cities, multiple different niches. Guys, these platforms are more powerful than an AI automation agent. This is one thing you have to understand. All right. So I know some of you guys are probably wondering now, Rank and Rent business model, it's been around for a while. What has changed? Has it gotten harder? I can assure you that I've been doing it for 11 years, but I'm not going to sit here and say it's as easy as it was 10, 11 years ago. Like any business model, you have to iterate and improve upon it and adapt to the times. And so that's what I'm going to briefly talk about at the end here. Biggest problem people face with Rank and Rent business in 2026. Across the board, by far, what I see is lack of SEO skills. So what I mean by that is it used to be where GBP or the Google Map listing was so easy to throw up that you could have the shittiest website, but throw up a GBP and you were already generating phone calls. Now GBP is harder to get. It's more tedious. I do have different processes that I teach in my community of getting GBPs, but a lot of my leads I'm generating now even without the GBP. However, you actually need more heavy reliance on the website itself. It actually needs to rank really high for the main keyword and all the related keywords as well, potentially in neighboring cities as well. And you also need to rank a site in bigger population cities and more competitive, higher ticket niches. And all of that requires higher level SEO skills. And I just see a lot of people teaching Rank and Rent. They're teaching the most basic SEO. And I think this is why what I teach with Rank and Rent are high level SEO skills that's working in 2026. All right, so another issue I see with a lot of people is they are using very poor site design, poor content. Again, these kind of sites might fly in like low competition markets, but it's not going to fly in higher ticket niches. Google is tracking user behavior signals. So when someone lands on a site like this and it's clearly lead gen, they're not going to convert. They're going to bounce out of that site. And 10, 11 years ago, people were not maybe as astute about lead gen sites, but these days, a lot of people are just becoming aware, hey, this looks like clearly a lead gen site. I'm not even going to bother. So here's the roadmap for you. If you're serious about creating passive income on the internet, if you just build 10 Rank and Rent sites, you're guaranteed to make money in this business model. If you build 30 sites in the Rank and Rent business, you are guaranteed to hit 10K per month. I break down the math of that much more in detail with this video, so you can go take a look. If you're interested in learning Rank and Rent and taking this business serious, I can coach you on this. I've been doing this business model for over 11 years. I just launched a brand new coaching program this year, brand new training. I do weekly live coaching calls. So if you want more info on that, click the link in the description. I will see you guys in the next video.